Hard court tennis, done. Clay court tennis, done. Now it's time for big time tennis on grass. Wimbledon, or the championships, are set to begin on July 3rd at the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, with the event set to conclude on July 16th. The third major of the season does not have a particularly big build-up, as it takes place just 3 weeks after the French Open. Here are some of the major storylines that you should follow at what will be the 136th edition of the tournament. Novak Djokovic won the first 2 slams this year, which took him past Rafael Nadal's all-time men's record of 22 slams. Now, the Serbian's next target is the 24 slams, which is the all-time record currently held by Margaret Court. But he can equal this record by winning this year's Wimbledon, which will be his 5th Wimbledon title in a row. Not only that, if he wins Wimbledon this year, he will match one of his biggest rivals, Roger Federer, for the most Wimbledon titles won by a man in the Open era, which is 8. Djokovic, like the last 3 editions, enters the tournament without playing a single warm-up match. He is playing an exhibition tournament, but the feeling of a tour event is certainly different. Nevertheless, does he really need to practice? If you look at the stats, Djokovic has 86 wins at Wimbledon, which is one more than the 19 other players combined in the ATP Top 20. Now that says something about the Serbians' dominance on the surface. One of the names that certainly strikes is Carlos Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz recently won his first title on grass at Queen's. He enters Wimbledon as the world number 1. He has the experience of facing Djokovic in a best of 5 sets match. He faced him at the Roland Garros semifinals recently. Now Alcaraz showed significant improvement in his on-court movement at Queen's, which was just his 3rd event on grass. And his serve looks slightly more lethal on this surface, along with the booming forehand that he has. He should have a good run at this year's championships. But whether he can beat Djokovic, I think that's a task that will be very tough for him. But if anyone can do it this year, it's Alcaraz. In the women's event, a tough battle is expected for the title between world number 1 Iga Swiatek, defending champion Elena Rybakina, world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka, and last year's runner-up Ons Jabeur. Jelena Ostapenko and Petra Kvitova have also put their name in the mix in the title contention after their recent success at the tune-up events. But also keep an eye on a 5-time champion who is also in the draw this year. I'm talking about the 43-year-old Venus Williams. She's been awarded a wild card, and in the first round, she will take on another wild card, Elina Svitolina of Ukraine. Another storyline to keep an eye on at this year's Wimbledon is the fact that the Russians, Belarusians, and ranking points are back. Last year, Russians and Belarusian players, they were banned from competing at Wimbledon following Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. And the result of this ban was that the ATP and WTA tours did not award ranking points for the last edition. Hence, everyone will play this year with no points to defend and a clean slate. As far as the Indian interest is concerned, there's not much to look forward to at this year's Wimbledon except Rohan Bopanna, who is seeded 6th in the men's doubles, and he's partnering Matthew Ebden. In singles, Ankita Raina bowed out in the first round of qualifying. In the junior event, Yuva Nandal's name is there in the entry list for boys singles, while Aryan Shah and Manas Dhamne are there in the qualifying list. Now, do you remember the 2022 Wimbledon men's doubles final? The all-Australian pair of Max Purcell and Matthew Ebden, they had beaten Nikola Mektic and Mate Pavic in a 4-hour-long marathon final to win the title. Well, guess what? From this year onwards, there will be no best-of-5 sets tennis in men's doubles at Wimbledon. Yes, the championships, they are joining the other 3 slams, and they will follow the traditional best-of-3 sets format from this year onwards for men's doubles. The total prize money at this year's Wimbledon is £44.7 million, which is an 11.2% increase from last year's edition and 17.1% hike from the pre-pandemic edition of 2019. After delaying for many years, Wimbledon finally joined the other 3 slams in 2007 in paying both the men's and women's singles winners equally. This year's singles winners will each receive £2.35 million, while the runner-up will get £1.175 million. Do follow Sportstar's coverage of this year's Wimbledon, as we have a lot of exciting stuff in store for you.